Hello everyone, Keir Smith here, back with another video, and for today's video I'd like to talk about a modern day classic which is rare for me. I'm the retro kid, but this album is widely regarded as the hottest thing right now. It's Brat by Charli XCX. So this album was actually released back in 2024. As I say, I'm late to the party. I only discovered this album I think 3 weeks ago now, but I've played it 7 or 8 times since. So my brother Liam came round a couple of weeks back now and he's been enjoying a lot of female pop songs of late, especially Dua Lipa, and me being a big Taylor Swift fan, I've been trying to influence him with some of her stuff, so we've been trading songs over messages. And I started telling him about this video that I'd started watching, which was posted by the great Elliot Roberts, where he was basically marvelling at the vast array of female pop stars and the albums that they put out in the year 2024. And Elliot Roberts was putting a case forward for the year 2024 being the greatest year in pop music since 1984, which had long been considered a truly great year for pop music. Anyway, we sat and watched this video together and Elliot Roberts talked through what he considered to be the major works of 2024, and at the end of the video he singled out Charli XCX's Brat album as his favourite album of that year. Now when it comes to modern music, I may as well be living under a rock. I know so little about it, but I'm always willing to be influenced, and after watching Elliot Roberts' video and being very entertained by it, it definitely pricked my interest. And I thought to myself, I'll give that Charli XCX album a go. He played short clips of parts of the album and talked through why he thought the album was so good, and it was enough to, like I say, prick my interest. I knew very little of Charli XCX. Honestly, I was watching Glastonbury last year, 2025, and I saw the 1975 set, and I think before or after that show, Matty Healy was interviewed and he said he was looking forward to seeing Charli XCX. I honestly think that's the first time I heard her name. Now I did see the news maybe a couple of months back now where she married George Daniel, the drummer and producer of the 1975. But since listening to the album several times now and talking about her at work, my boss informed me that she did that song Fancy and another one called I Love It, which were huge hits. And when my boss started singing those songs to me, I said, oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, I know that. No, I didn't like that. No, I didn't like that one either. But the album Brat and the 15 songs that make up the album, as I will now tell you, that's sensational. But I'll call this a modern day masterpiece, and to be honest with you, I don't have that much to compare it to, but from what I hear from many artists these days, it's all about the production. And the production here is absolutely fantastic, meticulous, nothing is out of place, and auto-tune, well, I think it features on every song. But please don't think for 1 minute that I'm knocking it for that reason, because I think that's simply how modern day music is made. Auto-tune is simply an option that is readily available to singers these days, and more often than not, they seem to want to go with that. Charli XCX certainly does, and it brings great results. So the album opens with the song 360 with its dotty synth line. Very easy on the ear, and it certainly hasn't taken me too long to start annoying people by constantly walking around singing And the lyrics are really good too. Charli sings about her newfound stardom with the opening line, I went my own way and I made it, and constantly being in front of the camera eye but looking like an icon. Her words. And I do like the line, if you like it, if you hate it, I don't fucking care what you think. 360 is great fun, a great opener. It's bright, upbeat, and sets the tone for the album. Now this album is full of delightful twists, and we certainly get that twist next with the second song on the album, Club Classics. And this is exactly that. Charli sets out to make her very own club classic with this heavy hitting club anthem, and she makes a really authentic case for it. It's pulsating, repetitive, slightly jarring at times, all of the things that I associate with club classics, but the rising synth line is easy to warm to. First listen, I was not so keen on it, but by the second listen, I was fully into it. And things get even better with the next track, Sympathy as a Knife, which is even harder and heavier than club classics. The clattering synths and drum machines collide against Charli's frantic vocal. Charli openly sings about her paranoia and her fear of spiralling. It definitely leans towards the dark side, but it's also got this winning chorus. I think it's a fantastic song. Possibly the best song on the album. Possibly. I might say Something Stupid is next, and musically it's a nice change of pace. This is a subtle and sombre keyboard-led ballad, but lyrically it picks up where Sympathy as a Knife left off and finds Charli once again wrestling uncomfortably with her newfound fame. She sings, "I'm famous, but not quite," and on the final line of the song she sings, "And I don't know if I belong here anymore," and then the song cuts dead. Talk Talk is next, and this is a sun-kissed Ibiza classic, if ever there was one. The cool atmospherics of the verse leads into this euphoric, pop-tastic chorus. It's a chorus that will have you singing for days. If Sympathy as a Knife isn't the best song on the album, then this is. In fact, I'll go with this one. And then we get Von Dutch, which is awesome. This one too is particularly hard. Heavy electronica. I love those ascending lines. They're a great sound. And Charli's repeated refrain of "I'm your number one." Everything is romantic is absolutely fantastic. A very relaxed and ambient piece with beautiful synthesized strings. And these rather odd but picturesque cut and paste lyrics. Jesus Christ on a plastic sign. Pompeii in the distance. In a place that can make you change. 4 generations make up a family. Fall in love again and again. But musically, this one in particular, I love it. The various electronic noises and synthesized sounds, the way they rise up in the mix around Charli's cut and paste vocals. It's really well done. Then we get the song Rewind, which is okay, not great, but again, it's got a really catchy chorus. But just as I was starting to think that this song was pedestrian, let's say, I was then surprised by the last minute of the song where the instrumentation takes an unexpected twist, and again, it's really good. And that's a real feature of this album. There's always an unexpected twist or turn in a song. You'll be listening to it and enjoying it, and then it will change and you'll think, well, I wasn't expecting that. It's unconventional. The song So I is next, and I've since read that this is a song more or less dedicated to her friend Sophie, who passed away, who was a big innovator in the electronica music genre and someone who Charli had previously collaborated with, and it sounds like she was a big influence on Charli's work. Now, I'm not normally one for the overly sentimental, and this song does run the risk of falling into that trap for me, but it's actually quite a touching tribute. And the lyrics to this song serve as a conversation of sorts, and I think it's really sweet when Charli sings, "Would you like this one? Maybe just a little bit." And again, the honesty of Charli's lyrics and the directness of them, which again is another really strong feature of this album, comes to the fore here. And it's raw, real. And again, the music that wraps itself around these fragile lyrics is so nice and so well done. And it's at this point I should mention that there are a host of clearly very talented producers coming together to make this thing work. From A.G. Cook, who is referenced in the song Club Classics, as is her husband, George Daniel, who I previously mentioned, and French, Spanish, Swedish, and a few more other producers from around the globe also chip in to make this album. Girl So Confusing is next, and this is another really good dance track with a buzzing synth bass overriding the simple beat. This time Charli sings about the bitchiness that can go on in the music industry and her rather confusing relationship with another singer called Lord. A super catchy track, and I really like the way the girl, 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 girl pans around the stereo. Apple is a really nice song and a nice slice of 80s synth pop. And again, it tackles a heavy subject of the dysfunctional family and not quite understanding one another. And again, rather annoyingly, I can't stop singing to the airport, the airport. It's merely one of many, many different melodic, catchy hooks across the songs on this album. B2B is next, or Back to Back as Charli sings, and this is another heavy slice of electro pop. Really good. As if the initial groove of the song wasn't good enough, it then takes one of those unexpected melodic twists that I keep talking about around the 1 minute 50 mark, where Charli sings, building muscles up, breaking muscles down. That part there is one of the best bits on the album, and I really like that panting at the end of the song too. Very cool. The Europop continues on the excellent Mean Girls. It sounds like Charli's taken a slight lift from the David Guetta Akon song Sexy Chick, with that prominent, buzzing, ascending synth part. And Charli sings in yet another really catchy chorus. This one's for all my Mean Girls, for all my break your boyfriend's heart girls, for all my tearing shit apart girls. But yeah, it's good fun. I really like it. So up next is track 14, and I think about it all the time, which is a most unexpected twist. This is a cool, low-key electronica backdrop to Charli's lyrics that contemplate motherhood. She talks about meeting her friend who has recently had a baby, and she calls her a radiant mother and her partner a beautiful father, and then asks herself, does my career feel so small in the existential scheme of it all? Is Charli really going to give up her newfound fame for motherhood? And that brings us to the final song on the album, 365. And musically, this picks up where the opening song on the album, 360, left off, with that dotty synth line and the I really must stop singing that. She asks, shall we do a little key? Shall we have a little line? Go on then, you've twisted my arm. And musically, this song really struts and swaggers, and it's heavy and it gets heavier, and you hear Charli's sampled voice constantly singing, bumping that, and this dark, grinding electronica sound really drives the song home, and that's cut short by Charli saying one last time, bumping that. 365 is a great track and really brings this album full circle. Brat is an absolute feast of electronica, hyperpop, dance, techno, garage, rave, synths, samples, drum machines, all fused together, brilliantly so. Brat, to me, sounds like the most fun you can have in one night, the best night out. It's heavy in every aspect of the word. It's confrontational and even abrasive at times, but all the better for it. But one of the things that I like most about it, and I suspect what is pulling a lot of other people towards this album, is there's little ambiguity here. There's a stark honesty and sincerity to this work, and indeed to Charli's lyrics. And I think that that's one of the main reasons why this album has become so wildly popular. This album brims with confidence, energy, vitality. Honestly, it's one of the best things I've heard in years. I can honestly say I've never heard an album quite like this before. But it's got me going back now, and I've had to go and dig out my old Ministry of Sound albums. Crikey, I'm approaching my 45th birthday and I want to go back to the rave. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Brat at the minute, and I'm sure I'll revisit it again a good few times over the next few weeks. As I say, I think this is a modern day classic. Heavily produced, absolutely. Loads of auto-tune, not necessarily to my liking, but it all works here. And as I say, I think that this is how modern music is made, and I think this is fantastic. But hopefully if you clicked on this album, then you'll know this album well, and please let me know any thoughts and comments down below. Is it as good as I think it is? How highly do you rate the album? What are your favourite songs from the album? And as always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for my next video sometime soon. God knows what that'll be about, but be sure to tune in. Bye for now.